Hello fellow gamers, it's PJ here, and today we're having a look at Surge. Bit of a review going on here. The game's not exactly been pushed out into the limelight, as it were. It's a bit of a stealth release, and I think it needs a little bit of focus. Available on PC, Xbox One, PS4 and PS4 Pro, of course, has some additions to it. The version I'm playing here is the PC version. And I just thought I'd give you a rundown on what the game consists of. As you can see, you start the game here as an arrival to an industrial zone, obviously as a worker, and you get sort of a couple of options here. You got some guards here, heavily armed ones, which raises some concerns. But the thing with this game is, it's by the same developers as Lords of the Fallen. Now, the game originally I thought was going to be sort of weapons heavy and everything, but it's not. It's melee combat all the way through. You basically go down, equip yourself with an exosuit, which we're going to now. So go down. You got a choice to make when you get down here. You can go for the heavy, Titan style one if you like. Take a lot of punishment, deal a lot of damage out, but it's slow and cumbersome. I did actually try that in another playthrough, and it was awkward. It was bulky. I didn't like it at all. So I actually switched over to the lightweight one and went for speed and agility. As you can just see there, I was playing it in 4K on PC. It's very PC friendly. You can run this very easily, and sort of even a middling type gaming PC. On the Xbox One, it runs at 900p and a locked 30 frames per second, and it looks very good. All effects are included. On PS4, it's 1080p, 30 frames per second. Again, the effects are all there. It's nice looking. PS4 Pro, bit of an oddity. Yes, you've got two modes. You've got performance mode and also quality mode. Now, there is a bit of a problem, because when you put it onto the quality mode, you do lose some of the reflections on the surfaces. Now, we're not sure if that's a bug yet and something the developers can possibly add in, but the screen space reflections are missing from that version. The developers have initially said that to keep the performance up for 60 frames per second, because that's what performance mode is, it's 60 frames per second, they had to lose something, and that's what they chose to lose. Not a deal breaker, I suppose. Personally, I'd play it in the nice, nice looking version, if you've got a Pro, that is, But anyway, good looking game all round in my opinion. A little bit linear, if I'm going to criticise it. I played through some different sections, and once you get your exosuit, which is what we're doing right now, and that's the lightweight one that I actually choose, you can upgrade the suit. You can upgrade your weapon and help you through your way. The only thing is, when you upgrade your weapon, you normally find that the early weapon that you get, you can upgrade it that much that when you find a later weapon later on in the game, it's actually less powerful than the one you sort of got early on and are happy with. That was just sort of my feeling from it. So instead of thinking, oh yeah, great, I've got a better weapon, I'm going to go and see what that's like, you sort of think, oh, it's less powerful, I'll go back to the original weapon and carry on upgrading that. So that defeats the upgrade purpose a lot. There's a lot of customization though. I mean, the suits and everything, you can customize them to look differently and add bits and bobs to them. So yeah, there's quite a bit to it on that way. It's just the actual gameplay that I had an issue with. You're in your suit. As you can see now, we've got this core error. We are stepping outside right now. So your suit's faulty, yeah? Which means you've been dumped. You are effectively scrap. You're going to cost the corporation more money as a worker than is necessary. So you've been scrapped off. You're a waste of time. However, this chap, as you saw, started in a wheelchair, and because the exosuit has now got the full function of his body back, it's just that the suit is actually faulty, which is a bit weird because you can run around and do everything at the start and it makes you think, well, how is it faulty? How come? Because you are using it, He's walking around and he's quite chuffed. And then you pick your first weapon up. I will just point out, after picking this first weapon here, I'm not a fan of hack and slash games. I'm not a Souls person or anything like that. I do not like that type of game. It's not my style. This game reminded me of a sort of modern age Souls game. So maybe that's where I'm failing. But to me, it seemed a bit of a grind. Yes, you can dodge and do different melee attacks, heavy, light. Later on in the game, as you upgrade your suit, you can jump over and kick the enemy, etc. It just felt a bit rigid. Even though there's a lot of customization with the character, the game is linear. It's not an open world game. It is a corridor game. You've got one route to take, or maybe two or three, but they all end up in the same sort of spot eventually. You can sort of loop around and come back to it. The bosses, yeah, you got easy bosses, just like these two here. And you've got, you know, your typical, what would be a bullet sponge if you had a gun. You just got to whack them in the right spot at the right time, as you will see as we come up to some. Now, the first thing you're trying to do here, obviously after learning all the moves and everything, is get your suit repaired. Now, you'll notice you collect technology and bits and bobs from the fallen enemy, and also from around the map, if I loosely call it a map. Around the play area, there's bits and bobs to pick up. There's like shiny diamonds, and you have to collect all those to add to your inventory. Now, the only problem is, if you die, you lose your entire inventory. So, like there, I'd killed some stuff, collected some bits and bobs. I've lost it, so I'm dead. I've lost that stuff. You've got to start building your inventory up again, which is important because there's some crafting in this game to upgrade your suit as well, and your tools. So without the inventory, you can't upgrade, you can't craft. Which, like I said earlier on, is important because you end up using one weapon, the one that you used to the most. Okay, so anyway, eventually when we get through all these hovering, annoying bad guys, I was actually already fed up with the little flying dudes by then. They got a bit too repetitive for me. Okay, you get to like a repair station. However, the repair station tells you can't repair your suit because the power core is damaged and you need to repair your power core first. So you've got to go off and find the right stuff to get your power core repaired before you can do any upgrades or anything. The crates that are littered around can be smashed and you can look in them. Didn't actually find any in this area at all with anything in them. But here we have a med bay. But like I say, you can't use this until you fixed your power cores. Bit of tedium, you know, it's like, okay, my suit's faulty, I'm at a repair facility, why can't I repair it? There you go, power core seems to be defective, can't use the med bay. It's like, right, okay, fair enough. There's another little console in the other room there, but again, you can't do anything with it because you've got to upgrade your suit. You see where this is going, yeah? It's going around in circles. I mean, like you see, presentation's good, sound is, yeah, it's adequate. It's only in stereo, it's not in surround, it's adequate. It's not HDR, I've already looked into that, even on PlayStation or Xbox One S, it is not HDR. PC, no, not HDR. It plays okay. The campaign lasts between 30 and 40 hours, depending how much you actually want to go and collect all the bits and bobs that are in barrels and such like scattered around. So if you want to rush it, sort of 30 hours. If you want to, you know, completionist and you're going after trophies or achievements, think more like 40 hours. There's little diamonds I was on about there, look to pick up. You're going to collect all those. When you've got multiple enemies like this, you've actually got a block. You can shield yourself from them, or you can sort of jump out the way. But it is a bit frustrating. You can heal yourself, but obviously you run out of the ability to heal yourself. Repetitive though. There is an end boss on this section, if you could call him a boss. He's like a zombie character in a suit, and if you kill that type of bad guy, you can take their armour and their weapons. Didn't seem too interesting, to be honest with you, when I did it. My overall rating for this game is tricky because it's nice enough looking. What they've done is implemented well, but I don't like melee games and I found it repetitive and corridor, so I'm only going to give this game a 5 out of 10. I get the feeling if you did like Lords of the Fallen or Souls games, you'd probably rate it probably a 7 out of 10. You know, it has got a bit of depth and the campaign is certainly long enough, but it's just not my scene, not my cup of tea at all. So recommendation on that: buy it when it's reduced, buy it when it's in a Steam sale or pre-owned if you're on PlayStation, Xbox, etc. Certainly wouldn't rush out and buy it at full price that it is at the moment. I do see the price dropping on this game very, very quickly. So in a couple of months, this game is going to be in the bargain bin. It's good that the devs have done something different to Lords of the Fallen. They've moved away from the oldie worldy stuff and they've gone into a more modern scene. And they're only a small team, so they've done a pretty good job. It's just been done to death. It's old hat now. There's a lot of stuff out there that does a lot of things better for the same money. So with that, think hard, and I'll leave you to watch a little bit more gameplay. If you like this video, if you agree with my review, please click like on your way out. Thank you.
Damaged. Its distress beacon has been triggered. You need to get back into the factory.
Well, okay. I'll just stroll right on over to the factory then.
I certainly don't recommend walking, but there should be a maglev station nearby. They're never far from ops.
The rig seems to work for me. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. I mean, I can walk. Huh. Never thought I'd be able to say that again.
Well, that's good to hear, but the power core is damaged. You'll have to find a new one to make your rig fully functional.
I don't know you. I'm surrounded by dead people here. Maybe someone would like to explain what's going on.
I'm sorry, I don't know. You need to get inside. Maybe you can make something to protect yourself. Operations always has a gear assembly.
On my way.
Can you hear me?